It's a city where anything can happen. So what could go wrong or right as I hit up LA Unscripted. Towering 13+ floors above Los Angeles from the Waldorf Astoria, Beverly Hills, I'm Dana Devin, and we are so excited LA's quintessential spots are finally open. With its panoramic city views, there is nothing like the rooftop here at the Waldorf Beverly Hills. And there's just something so special about looking out over the city of angels. And now in this LA Revealed, our Liberty Chan flying high with a local photographer with his camera in the clouds.
And I've always been a little bit adventurous, so I love getting into planes. I've always enjoyed the concept of aerial photography. I just think the way that your perspective changes constantly is something that really keeps you on your toes, because you really have to know your gear. You know, the sun is constantly moving as you're circling around your subject. My name is Andrei Duman. I'm a photographer, creator. I was born and raised in Romania. When we moved to the UK, I played tennis professionally, so I did all these international tournaments around the world, got into investment banking in New York, and then just made the switch to photography.
So did you just get burnt out on Wall Street and
Yes.
You wanted to be more of a creative and that's what happened?
Yeah, that was pretty much it.
Now you're this photographer, you shoot for outlets like the National Geographic, you've been to 83 countries in the world.
Yes.
The plateau in Sri Lanka?
Yes, that was a gigantic rock that you can obviously climb all the way up. Sigiriya Rock, I believe it's called. Again, it's just one of those really iconic things about that particular location that I wanted to feel and see for myself. One of the things that is very specific about, I believe it's southwestern Sri Lanka, are the stilt fishermen. So it's a practice, they've been doing it for hundreds of years, where the actual fishermen sit on these tall poles, and they're outside of the water and they just put their nets or their line into the water, and that's how they fish. However much I want to capture an image, I want to feel the place.
Your shoot in Madagascar.
That was actually the last trip before COVID. Madagascar was, again, a place for me that I just always found fascinating when I was a kid, just reading the Nat Geo magazines and learning about all the endemic species, and I really wanted to see those lemurs, feel their behavior and see what they're like in the wild. So it was just something that I've always wanted to go and shoot. Product photography is completely different to travel photography. So again, it's very, very different to even travel, where sometimes you have to be gun-ho and very quick, and your aerial, which is just constantly adjusting. So it's a lot of different mindsets that you have to fit into. And I just love shooting cars. So getting into commercial product photography and cars just seems like a natural progression. And now with COVID, I can't travel. I set up a home studio. So I have all my lights, my entire studio set up in one of my rooms. I can wake up at 3 in the morning with some crazy inspiration and test it out. No one's gonna know about it.
There's a little splotch of red that I want to make sure you miss on the green.
I mean, we shot that with a phantom camera. It's 1,000 frames a second in 4K. So in 1 second, you're capturing 1,000 frames, which is why you can really see that explosion so beautifully and in slow motion. It's honestly just playing around. We were literally in bunny suits, and we were covered head to toe, and it still went through it, and our clothes were ruined. I still have them. I'm gonna frame them one day.
And from photos to food, check out what develops when you make reservations at the incredible rooftop by JG at the Waldorf Astoria, Beverly Hills. And what is the best part about working at the Waldorf Astoria?
The view.
Of course, the view.
Right there, on the middle of the Beverly Hills, on the middle of LA. You have the 360 view from everywhere.
When you take out the fact that you work in such a beautiful environment, how do you make the food as dazzling as the view?
It's difficult, it's challenging. We try to keep everything fresh, so
right.
as much as we can with local produce. I mean, it's what people want.
What do we have right here, and then explain where you got all of these?
So here you have actually the crispy sushi. It's one of the signature dishes by Jean-Georges. What you have a combination of 5 crispy sushi with scallops.
Got it.
You have some avocado, you have some tuna from Hawaii, and some amachi.
Okay, now I'm not very good with chopsticks.
Oh, wow.
Dirty French fries. I love the name, Dirty French fries.
This is one of my favorite here. I'm from France, so potatoes, caviar, egg white, yolk, crème fraîche is the best combination.
Dirty French fries are my favorite.
The most expensive French fry in Beverly Hills.
How can people make reservations here?
They can call directly the hotel, but as well they can have open table.
I'm giving out stars.
Thank
so
you.
these are 5 stars.
Thank
can you
you.
get 5 stars?
At the hotel, we can get 5 times.
5 stars. I get 5 stars.
In a restaurant, we get only 3.
Oh, well, I give 3 and 5. You get 8.
Thank you.
You get 8 stars. The Rooftop by JG is such a great way to safely celebrate our city reopening. And we are just getting off the ground. Coming up, affordable tips to decorate like a diva. Plus, a local music program hits a high note in under-resourced schools. Doug Kolk with the deets. Plus, Glow Up, an in-home skin treatment that acts like a magic eraser. And honoring Black History Month, LA Unscripted from the Waldorf Astoria, Beverly Hills. We'll be right back. In the heart of Beverly Hills, high above Wilshire and Santa Monica Boulevard, this is LA Unscripted from the luxurious Waldorf Astoria. Hi everyone, I'm Dana Devin, and since this half hour is a guide to help you live the best California life, it makes complete sense to check in to the center of everything.
Well, luckily, over the past couple weeks, we were able to open up both of our restaurants. We have the Rooftop by JG, open 7 days a week, lunch and dinner. We also have Jean-Georges Beverly Hills on our lobby level, beautiful terrace. It's an 8-course dining experience that's on Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays.
Tell me about the 3 pillars of service that you want guests to experience.
There's 3 things that we focus on. That's the product and the quality, that's the service and the overall experience, but then of course there's safety as well.
In need of some design inspiration? Look no further. The urban oasis here is a magical mix of art deco and modern touches. And if all this makes you want to spruce up your space, now our Olivia De Bortoli with some how-to tips.
I started City Chic Decor in 2017. It is a blog about decorating small rental spaces. I noticed that there was a hole and there was no content about decorating small rental spaces in any magazine, in any show, in any book. And that really did bother me. So I started City Chic Decor, didn't actually think anyone would read the blog, but here we are today.
We've been at home for a year now. How important is it for us to love the place that we're in?
So important. I mean, listen, everyone is stuck at home right now, right? And I do think a lot of people are trying to upgrade their spaces, but I think many people feel helpless because they think they need to renovate or spend a ton of money to create a dream home. That is just so not the case. You can utilize Facebook Marketplace, for example, to sell items and then use that profit to buy something new. You can head to your local thrift store and you can get amazing new pieces of furniture for literally no cost at all. There's so many ways you could spruce up your space on a budget.
A lot of people think, when they buy a house, they can do all these renovations. For renters, sometimes they think, I can't do that. So tell me about how the things that you can change if you are renting a place.
Well, let's start with the kitchen, for example. Did you know that there are removable backsplashes on the market? Yes, so it looks like real tile, feels like real tile, but all it is just a large sticker you can place over your pre-existing backsplash. Hate your countertops? No worries at all. You don't need to knock out your countertops, especially if you live in a rental. Just cover it up with marble contact paper. It's that easy. Hate your floors? No problem. Just cover your floors with a beautiful area rug or use peel and stick floor tile. It's just like the peel and stick backsplash. Looks like real tile, feels like real tile. You just place it over your pre-existing floors, just like a big sticker.
I'm very excited about this part. You're gonna show me something fun that we can do. What is your fun project?
So when it comes to storing jewelry, many people store their jewelry in either a drawer, a dresser, or even maybe a jewelry box. But the issue with this is it leaves your necklaces or bracelets getting tangled, and no one wants that. So my hack is to actually hang your jewelry on a chic vase, just like this. Not only is it such a chic and cute feature statement, but it's also super functional. It leaves your jewelry tangled free.
Yay!
Have an LA idea for Olivia? Well, DM us at KTLA Unscripted. And now let's check in with what Doug Kolk is doing.
Well, for 15 years, Education Through Music LA has been putting instruments in the hands of under-resourced LA schools. This year, the nonprofit held a virtual benefit to keep the music playing. This was the virtual gala that Education Through Music LA put on.
$260? Well, that'll get you a violin or a saxophone for a child.
It was in place of their usual fancy gala with celebrities and performers at the Beverly Wilshire.
We were getting ready and gearing up to go back to the Beverly Wilshire, and then, of course, the pandemic, diverted our plans.
Online or in person, the goal remained the same.
We put music back into schools.
And they have been doing exactly that for the past 15 years. Starting with 2 schools and 800 students.
And in our 15th year, we are partnered with an unprecedented 46 schools, reaching approximately 19,000 students.
But like any effort of this scale,
it really takes a village.
And the funding.
The gala, the silent auction, is a big event, but this year it's open to the public.
Which is why this music icon dedicates his time every year.
This would be my 3rd year.
As an original member of Quiet Riot, later Ozzy's bassist, not to mention a slew of other massive bands, Rudy Sarzo has his imprint on rock in many ways. Now you're with the Guess Who. You were probably inspired by the Guess Who growing up.
Absolutely. We all were. Yeah. When I'm playing Guess Who songs on stage, sometimes I'm like laughing and smiling, and the guys go, "What's wrong with you?" And I go, "Oh, it's because I'm thinking of the crazy girlfriend that I was dating at the time the song was on the radio."
For the 3rd straight year, he auctioned off one-on-one bass lessons. During a celebration, this year themed Disney.
To be able to do a Disney sing-along with some major, phenomenal legends.
Join him with Alan Menken, the composer.
We are all conduits to music.
You know, Beauty and the Beast, Little Mermaid, Aladdin.
Under the Sea. You're not doing bass on Under the Sea, are you?
No, Little Mermaid.
For more information and how you can donate, just head to etmla.org. I'm Doug Kolk, and that's your deets.
We have LA covered, and there's even more you need to know. Coming up, we're sharing skin secrets you'll want to try. LA Unscripted from the Waldorf Beverly Hills. We'll be right back. We fancy.
What's up, LA Unscripted? When you think self-driving cars, I know Tesla comes to mind, but Cadillac has been hard at work mapping over 200,000 miles of highways across the US so that this Escalade can not only drive itself, but it can change lanes too. You ready for a little test drive? Let's check out the 2021 Cadillac Escalade. Here we go, enabling the Super Cruise for the very first time. And steering wheel lights up green, which means I can take my hands off the wheel. And there we have it. The car is now driving itself. The 2021 Cadillac Escalade. It's big, bold, beautiful, and loaded with luxuries. And it almost feels like you're gliding on top of the road. It's that smooth. But I'm here for the tech, specifically Super Cruise, GM's special brand of hands-free driving. It feels kind of weird. What do you do with your hands? A new update means it can now also change lanes. And it says looking for an opening, and I'm kind of following along in the mirror here. There's no car. The car changes lanes, and it says complete.
3 expansive screens let you monitor every move.
Alexa, where's the closest coffee place?
I found a few nearby coffee shops.
Alexa is your co-pilot and works well for navigation, music, and more.
Okay, getting directions.
A unique augmented reality navigation feature uses cameras to show you a real-time view of the road ahead. Arrows lead the way.
Right there. That is wild.
Cameras are everywhere. There's even a bird's eye view.
Look at this. You can get a 360-degree view. How are they getting that? It looks like I have cameras around my car.
Back to Super Cruise, which enables hands-free driving on more than 200,000 miles of highways. Tap a button on the steering wheel to enable it.
So there's an LED light up here that lets me know that the car is in control, and it should be safe to take my hands off the wheel.
Next, I try the automated lane change. Activate it by pressing the blinker for the direction you want to go.
It says it's looking for a lane opening, and now it says changing lanes, and we are changing lanes all by ourselves here. And the car just did it. It says auto lane change complete.
The feature is impressive. The SUV changes lanes with the confidence of big data. It might not be called self-driving, but GM's Super Cruise with lane change is an early indicator of just how hands-off driving will be in the future.
That was pretty easy. I can get used to this.
Class service, elegance, and ambiance. We're going off script at the Waldorf Astoria Beverly Hills, and you can too, because the city's urban oasis is open and ready to be at your beck and call. But before you put your name in for a rooftop table, are you ready for your close-up?
Our mission is basically to bring confidence back to people.
I'm wearing masks. I have this chin acne that I cannot get rid of. What can I do about that, and do your products help?
They do, and same here. My mask me is on fire. I don't know if there's like one magic bullet to stop it. There are things that I've started doing that help, like using disposable masks. I do recommend getting a medium depth chemical peel now because of quarantine and because of the winter. Our amazing in-office treatment, it's called the VI Peel. It's a medium depth chemical peel, and it works wonders on dark spots, acne, and aging. I always recommend going to see a professional. I think there's so many skincare products out there now, and I think consumers are making mistakes, and they're just picking out what's beautiful, what looks nice, or whatever's on Instagram. And that's all good. Some of these products are great, but I think going to a professional, whether it's a physician or it's a nurse or it's an esthetician, someone that can really assess your skin in person.
And while we love featuring all things fabulous about our city, we're also committed to breaking bias.
There's a different way to practice medicine. There's a more compassionate way, and I wanted to be a part of that. I am one of those who definitely wants to be right there in the action. Right now with COVID, people are dying. We as the medical community can't show compassion and see each other as human beings, then why are we in medicine? There was a lot of bias in healthcare. That was the scary part because our protocols weren't working. Medicine is about trust. And there's been such breakdown in trust in the healthcare system for Black Americans and other minorities.
A true game changer in the medical field, emergency room physician Dr. Nana Afomanen is breaking bias in minority communities like South Los Angeles, where she and her dedicated team of volunteers
they can just come right on through,
are smashing social stigmas, hitting the streets to provide free coronavirus testing, telehealth, and other medical resources to those who are underserved and uninsured through a company she co-founded called MyCOVIDMD.
We fundraise on the back end, and we find donors, special donors, and groups that just give, and individuals who just believe in what we're doing.
Okay, let me see your left hand. Go ahead, take a deep breath. Woo,
Dr. Nana's passion for public service was rooted from childhood. Born in the U.S. but raised in Ghana, Dr. Nana spent much of her early years in hospitals, often accompanying her mother, a nurse, to work each day. But when she had to watch her mom, who dedicated her life to helping others, struggle and eventually die from cervical cancer due to inequalities in the healthcare system, Dr. Nana says that painful experience cemented her career as a medical warrior on the front lines of change.
The other issue of who's getting it, and from biases from physicians, biases from those who see a certain population, like, oh, they don't care about their health care.
Any of you guys have had any symptoms at all?
So what do we do to quell fears and quell anxiety and quell stress?
Done. You see, it's already done.
She encourages others to find their power and passion in breaking bias. Her advice?
The most important thing is listening with breaking bias. Listening is not about being quiet and waiting to respond. It really is taking in those stories and then trying to understand where those stories come from in the context of your world.
We are all in this together in a real way. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
And for our brand new Breaking Bias segment, let's learn from each other. Introduce us to inspiring agents of change in your community. Suggest a local restaurant, small business, or even a book. Let's make LA better than ever together. Thank you so much to the Waldorf Astoria Beverly Hills for opening its doors and letting us show you why the best California life is unscripted. Goodbye, you guys. Mwah.